Reckwarth Lumber and Millwork, where contractors start their day. A Dayton tradition for over 150 years. On the web at reckwarth.com.
It's crazy to me. I mean, the quality of the houses here and the...
How much does urban fear play into all of it? And how much of it's justified?
Well, I would say we're back to the school system. If Dayton Public had a strong school system that produced, outstanding students, and there are many exceptions to this, you'd have a lot more people live in the city. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you'll get, what I see moving in are either young folks with no kids or real young kids moving in, mm-hmm. or more middle-aged folks who've already put their kids through college or don't have kids, mm-hmm. moving in. I've got an 8 and a 14-year-old, and they're both in private schools, and we drive around. I guess the one's in the Dayton Regional STEM School, which is not a private school, but it's
not everybody can get in. It's open to the public with
it's
qualifications.
A lottery and qualified.
Well, this is Julienne, which is the former Julienne Girls High School. It also served as Stivers School for the Arts for a couple years. Dayton Christian, forgot about that. 25 years. So this is a long-standing piece of architecture.
You're looking at the back side of the rectory or convent. When it was Julienne.
Is that all stained? There's stained glass in that plywood there?
There is.
Okay.
Some of it was removed from DPS and is supposed to be in storage. That's the chapel.
Okay.
It has a phenomenal box beam coffered ceiling, had marble floors, stained glass windows.
Oh wow.
When it was the Julienne Girls School, the students were not allowed in there. That was only for the nuns and the priests. This was where the nuns lived, and when it was Dayton Christian, it was the grade school.
Yeah.
Stivers used it. They had art classes. When Stivers was here and you'd walk around, it was a neat mix, because you'd walk past and you'd hear jazz coming out of one room. You'd hear, classical coming out of another. There'd be dancing and...
Like a little utopia.
Both of these buildings are built around central courtyards.
Okay.
That building is much cooler from the inside. It's got an Italiante courtyard in the center. This is the auditorium that was renovated in, I want to say, the late 90s by Dayton mm-hmm. Christian, and it was probably the best auditorium mm-hmm. in Dayton until the Schuster was built.
Okay.
Now it's just sitting there.
Fully capable of hosting someone like a John Prine or you can tell up here, let me go back, there's some minor vandalism. Looks like someone might have climbed in a window.
This has been vacant.
We got lights still on too. 2007?
Now. And
wow.
We're getting some of the first vandalism to the building.
Yeah.
This is a recent occurrence, and it's probably about 2 weeks ago.
What do you explain, or have you ever talked to kids who are what goes to explain vandalism? Just, do they figure that, hey, if we're not going to take care of it, we're not going to take care of it either? Or what?
I don't think there's any thought involved in it. I think it's more of hey, this sounds fun.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got the other side, which is not necessarily kids, but the metal scrappers.
Yeah.
With copper and brass.
Sure, they got a whole incentive to pay their bills.
I had to cut out some plumbing, and it was brass, and I couldn't believe what it was worth.
Yeah. Wow.
The front side's got most of the architectural character.
Yeah, so this is going to eventually start taking damage.
And this is the gymnasium. You're like in the
yeah, so the wood on here is probably taking damage from the water getting in there.
That's just a hallway.
Oh, is it?
Not even in the gym yet.
But either way, they could plywood that.
They did secure the door finally, and in Dayton's Public's kudos, Joe Wilson, who is their, I think, head of operations or facilities, has done a good job getting the grass cut and keeping the electric on and those kind of things.
Yeah, I think.
But other than that, there hasn't been a whole.
DPS's foot soldiers do a decent job of what they do. I would give that.
Well,
but we're talking about policies, though. I mean, big decisions. So it's nothing really personal.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the
limestone.
The leaded glass on there.
There's quite a few beautiful leaded glass windows on the interior. There were, brass newel posts. Nice lighting fixtures.
You think we'll ever see stuff built like this in America again?